You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum. We're in downtown Memphis. Bit of Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope the next time the Tennessee Vols have a 8-point lead in the final minutes of regulation over a top 5 team, that they figure out a way to close it out, because they couldn't quite do it this weekend, and it was among the more disappointing losses in recent UT history. And of course, one of the central characters is a young man from right here in Memphis, Tennessee. He went trending on Saturday night, not for good reasons. Usually isn't for good reasons. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, about 20 minutes, Michael Eaves is going to join me. He, of course, hosts SportsCenter for ESPN. Going to talk to him about a number of things, including the big headline from this morning. Joe Burrow is going to be sidelined for several months after suffering an injury yesterday. It's a toe injury. Joe Burrow, it's confirmed this morning, going to be out for several months. The Bengals moving to a backup quarterback. I'll talk to Michael Eaves about it. He'll be here in the next segment. Finish talking to him, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Memphis won at Troy this weekend to set up a huge game at Simmons Bank against Arkansas this upcoming weekend. We will talk Tiger football. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. Jaren Jackson Jr. held his 3rd annual basketball camp this weekend. He was asked about his injury timeline. How's it going? I'll tell you what he said in just a bit. Terrence Crawford upset Canelo Alvarez this weekend to solidify his status as the pound-for-pound king. We'll spend some time on boxing a little later on in the show. Mariner star Cal Riley hit his 54th homer this weekend, tying him with Mickey Mantle for the most home runs ever in a season from a switch hitter. That's nice company. Also worth noting, Seattle has won 9 straight games. We'll talk baseball. We'll do it in the 3rd segment. And the Emmys were held last night on CBS, America's most watched network. It's the network of stars. Seth Rogen, studio, were among the big winners. We'll run through some of the top moments during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with college football, specifically with what was the, I think, college football game of the weekend. It originated in Knoxville, Tennessee. It was a top 15 matchup between SEC rivals. It was number 6 Georgia at number 15 Tennessee on Rocky Top on Saturday afternoon. Great scene, great game. Final score, Georgia 44, Tennessee 41 in OT. Congrats to the Bulldogs. That is 9 straight victories for Georgia over Tennessee. But, buddy, woo, it should not have been a win for Georgia or a loss for Tennessee. And among those who agree with that sentiment, Kirby Smart, Georgia's coach, who after the game said he kind of felt like he needed to apologize before adding, quote, "I don't think we should have won that game." UT led it 7-0, then 14-7, then 21-7. And like I said earlier, was up 38-30 with a little more than, technically 2 minutes left in regulation. But the Vols, in the process of that, gave up a 9-play, 75-yard drive that resulted in a Georgia touchdown. Bulldogs then added the 2-point conversion. So it's 38-38, 2:32 left. That's where we were, UT ball. The Vols, as you probably know, they got it down to Georgia's 20-yard line. Penalty pushed it back to the 25. So with 3 seconds left in regulation and the ball at the 25, Josh Heupel sent Max Gilbert out to win the game with his leg. Officially, it's a 43-yard attempt. And if we have it queued up, let's watch it together.
Drives it. It's fading. And he missed it wide to the right. Did the 5-yard penalty make a difference? It backed him up. They couldn't get it to the center of the field. Had to try it from that left hash.
No matter how many times you practice in camp, no matter what you do to try to create that pressure, nothing you can do as a college coach matches what Gilbert just faced. A chance to win this game. A rivalry game we haven't won since 2016. Game on a line. And
So rough stuff, obviously. Game from there goes to overtime. Tennessee gets the ball, gets stopped, kicks a field goal. Then Georgia counters with the touchdown, game over. Instant classic, 44-41. Georgia wins to improve to 3-0 on the season. Big Bet Bennett, I know you don't cry tears for Vols.
No, those were fake tears, yeah.
I know you don't cry tears for Vols. I know your heart is blue, not orange. But you got anything in there? Feel a little sick for Tennessee, broadly speaking, or specifically Max Gilbert, who, just like you, is a proud Memphian. He's a graduate of Lausanne Collegiate School.
No, I mean, no, I don't. I don't feel bad. No, I don't feel bad at all. They got all the money and resources in the world. Go win a football game.
I don't guess I feel bad for the Vols, broadly speaking, because, hey, it's a football game and you had it and you let it slip away, and sometimes this stuff happens in sports. Deal with it. I guess I can understand that sentiment. I do feel sick for the kicker. I hate that. Hate it.
That is a tough spot.
Hate it. And, I was sitting up in my office watching the game with Lou was up there with me. And it was pretty clear, if you were watching, this is where we were headed. The kid from Lausanne is going to have an opportunity to win this in regulation. Incredible win on national television, Neyland Stadium. You could imagine what comes next. It was going to be an all-time night in Knoxville. And you could sort of see where it was headed. This is what it's going to come down to. And so me and Lou are sort of talking through it. And we get into these conversations. Who do you want to win? Who do you want to win? And he said, who do you want to win, Dad? I said, in this moment right now, I want Tennessee to win because I don't want Tennessee to lose because this young man who went to school with your older brother, I don't want them to lose because he messed up. So let's hope that he makes this kick. I would have said that about the Michigan kicker, the UNLV kicker. I don't like watching kickers fail. unless I have an actual interest in the game, just unless I'm tied up in it, every time I'm rooting for the kicker, always. So I said, Lou, let's root for the kicker here because, yeah, he's a Memphian.
Yep.
He's a Lausanne grad, and I don't know if I knew this when Aiden was in school, but I was texting with Aiden on Saturday while we were watching the game. And, like, yeah, Aiden knows him. Like, you know, they went to school together. And when he pushed it right like that, I mean, it's not even close.
Yep.
And it's just an example of the moment getting him. That's what that is.
Yeah, for sure. And Evan made a point in the chat, who might be one of the only 10 UT Vols fans that I like out there. So shout out to Evan. But he did make a field goal in overtime.
Yes.
I mean, the team could have scored. So like I know that he has like the weight of it all on his shoulders because he missed like the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the moment, right? You hit that field goal, your team runs out on the field, you celebrate, the fans rush the field, all that good stuff, right? He did make one in overtime. Like they didn't score. So it's hard to put the whole thing on that kid, but I know he feels it.
I understand all that.
Yeah.
Like logically, I get that. When people start saying things like, well, you know, it never comes down to one play, or, you know, it still went to overtime and you could have scored a touchdown in overtime. And like there was quite literally other opportunities for you to win the game even after he missed that kick.
Yeah.
I got all that. All right. But what I'm about to tell you is also true. If he makes that kick, they win that game, period.
Mm-hmm.
If he makes that kick, they win that game, period. That is also true. So I know they could have won the game even though he missed the kick. But this is true, and it will forever be true. And I don't say this to pile on because I'm not interested in piling on. I feel sick for the young man. But what I'm telling you is true. If he makes that kick, they win the game. He didn't make that kick, missed it badly, which is clear, just a byproduct of the moment. He could go out today, put the ball at the exact same spot, blindfold himself, and kick it through the uprights 50 times in a row from that spot. That's an exaggeration, but you get the point. It's not a difficult kick for an SEC kicker. It's not a difficult kick for him. It was the first kick he's missed this season, and he was pretty good last season. He's good. He's good at what he does. And the only explanation for missing that badly from that distance, given how good he is at what he does generally, is that the moment got to him.
Yeah.
And as soon as he pushed it right to that degree, I went and did Twitter search just to see if it was already off and running because I knew where we were headed then. And it was getting ugly pretty quickly. And I've always had this thing about kickers. Like I was never a football player, but I did get approached by the football people when I was in high school about maybe kicking because I was a soccer player. Some people call me the Pele of Horn Lake.
And that's pretty typical in high school.
Just go, yeah.
Good soccer players usually get a chance to maybe kick for the football team. That's why I feel
they
like that's
asked
true.
me.
Yeah.
I was at some point approached like, hey, would you be interested in trying to do this? Because I think I could have done it. And I just thought through it and I just said, no, I don't want to do it. And the reason I don't want to do it is because I don't ever want to be in that situation. If I'm actually good at this, I will eventually end up in that situation, and I want no part of that. I want no part of being a kicker. I passed on the opportunity to be a football player because what I would have been is a kicker, and I didn't want any part of that life. Because kickers, I think, have the loneliest job in sports, or at least one of them. You're a football player, but not really. Okay? You're not really a football player. But often, the games are determined by your leg. And often, when you were put in that situation, you are not really celebrated for making the kick. The celebration is going to be for the quarterback who got you into field goal range or the running back who got you into field goal range. Now it's just like you're just supposed to do this thing that we're asking you to do. Just go do it. You don't really become the hero too often. I know there's examples, but not too often. More often than not, it's like, and it was a game-winning kick, and you don't even remember it 2 weeks later. But you'll remember Max Gilbert. You remember the misses. You remember the Scott Norwoods. Like, you remember the misses. Even when they say wide right, like wide right is something we're used to hearing in football. Wide right is a famous 2-word thing in football. And I just wanted no part of that life. It just feels so lonely. You're out there not by yourself, but it must feel that way.
What else? I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is golf.
Except here's how I would argue that it's even worse. Because, like, let's say the equivalent of this is you miss a field goal that would win a game that's very makeable that you make all the time. And that's the equivalent of you have a 5-footer for the Masters and you just run it by in a totally unexpected way. Like Rory did this, not at the Masters, but just started missing putts he quite literally never misses. All right? The thing about golf is that feeling is lonely. You're out there by yourself. And you're supposed to make this. And you miss it. But you only let yourself down. You don't let an entire locker room down.
That's true. And you typically get another shot, right? Like if you hit a bad shot off the tee, like you get a chance at least to do something to correct it.
If you play, unless it's the Ryder Cup and a few other options, if you mess up in golf, blow an opportunity in golf, you're really just costing yourself. You might feel ridiculous, but you don't have 80 other people staring at you going, come on, man, WTF. But in football, if you're the kicker, and I'm not saying his teammates are doing this, I gather they're rallying around him, as I would hope that they would. But you have, let's just call it 100 people staring at you. 99% of them are probably bigger than you and could beat you up and don't even really consider you an actual football player anyway. Who wants that? I don't understand people who want to be kickers.
I have a good one. I know a good one. A center at the free throw line.
Well,
a center at the free throw line in a 1-possession game with like seconds left on the clock.
I think being at the free throw line, it doesn't even have to be a center. It's just like the Darius Washington moment.
Well, that's true too. Yeah,
I wouldn't want any part of that.
No.
Like I do not. I guess this is my baseline. I don't ever want to be in a situation where if I don't do the thing I'm expected to do right now, I am going to be remembered for this thing negatively forever. I don't want any part of that. I don't want to be Darius Washington on that free throw line, and I don't want to be Max Gilbert on that football field. I'm happy to be in the situations where I'm going to get all the credit and be the star if it works out, and I'll be the GOAT if it doesn't. Right? I got that. But with kickers, it's usually like you're just supposed to do this. Go do it. Just go do what you're supposed to do. But if you miss it, it could really be. I hope to God this isn't true. What I hope is that he is put back on that stage at some point and he drills it and it sort of offsets or whatever. I hope that.
Yeah.
But there's at least a possibility that the thing he's most famous for the rest of his life will be what happened on Saturday. And that's just not fun. That's not fun.
That's tough.
It's a hard thing to carry around, I would assume. I've never been talented enough to have to carry around that type of stuff because I don't get in those situations. But I imagine it's a hard thing to carry around. I'll ask Michael Eaves what he thinks. We'll do that next.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
We're really just, I was really looking at the success that Memphis had, something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career. I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody that I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. On Mondays in the second segment, I'm joined by Michael Eaves, who, of course, hosts SportsCenter for ESPN, and he's right here. And before we get talking about whatever we're going to talk about, congratulations to you. University of Kentucky Hall of Distinguished Alumni. You were inducted this weekend. I saw the pictures. It looked like a sweet event. That must have been awesome for you. Congrats.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. It's funny. I made this comment multiple times on campus. No one enrolls in college, Gary, think they're going to be in the Alumni Hall of Fame, right? Like, that's not anything we think about when we go to college. Now, athletes may say, I'm going to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame one day. I'm going to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame. That makes more sense. But I didn't even know that shit existed, quite honestly. And I even said that during my acknowledgement on campus. But it is really cool. But you mentioned the pictures. And if people see them on social media, I'm going to make a post later today. Gary, throughout my career, I've been very fortunate to do some cool stuff. And I've got awards. I mean, there's Emmys behind me, but that's not why I got in the business either. And I don't really talk about them that much. And I don't like talking about myself, quite honestly. But I do have a foundation of people in my life who enabled me to accomplish what I've dreamed of, right? And the best part of my weekend was having so many of those people in Lexington to celebrate it with me, because I wouldn't have been there without them. And I had a reception the night before for about 80 people that came in from all over the country. My first grade teacher came in for the ceremony. One of my favorite high school teachers came in. Some of my high school classmates and people from Memphis were there that I worked with at WPTY there in Memphis. They came. Los Angeles, people that I work with. And as I said to them, this award is as much theirs as it is mine, because without those people, I wouldn't have gone in. And for me, more so than receiving that plaque and that distinction, was seeing all those people there who helped me get there in the first place.
This is something, and that's really well said, that I've tried to learn later in life or be more aware of. When I was younger, I just sort of had the opinion of like, oh, it doesn't matter if I'm there, and nobody cares if I'm there. And then as I got older, and it was just this various event thing here or there, and I would look up and I'm like, my people from my life are here for me, and it really made me feel like something. And I now try to return that favor more than I used to. Like at this age, I understand, I think, the importance of like showing up for people more than I used to probably realize. That was not a priority for me in my earlier life, but now I understand it. It does matter if you're there, and people do like to see you.
Oh, 100%. And, you know, so many of the people who spoke at my reception the night before my ceremony in Lexington talked about how I showed up for them. But I was remembering them, Gary, showing up for me. But that's what it should be. That's how relationships and bonds are made, that you're willing to do whatever. I mean, there were people who squeezed in my event and around other things. My good friend Mark Spears, who works for us, obviously at ESPN and Anscape, he flew in off a vacation from the Virgin Islands just to come in. Then he had to go out again to go somewhere else the next day. L. Duncan came in, and then she had to leave the very next day because she had to be on air yesterday for like 12 hours for the WNBA playoffs. So like people who were making, those sacrifices of their time did it. And Elle made a point to my wife when we were there. She said Eaves would have done the same thing for them, for us. And she was absolutely right. But that's what friendships and relationships are about. And some of these friendships, as my wife and I like to say, it's not just friends. We have what we consider our chosen family. Yeah. Like Elle Duncan is like a sister to me, right? And I've only known her for 9 years. Where I've had other people in my life as family members that I'm not nearly as close to as I am to someone that's in my chosen family. And I will say this, though. Usually you're old when you get into any type of Hall of Fame, first and foremost. But it was so surreal, Gary, looking at all those people at my reception. I literally saw my entire life in front of me. Like my entire life. From my origins there in White Plains, Kentucky, to where I'm now here in Connecticut. There were people all along the way. And we rarely get to see that. Usually you see your life at your funeral when you're not able to see it. So I was really happy that I could celebrate that moment with them and get a reminder of what my life has really been.
And then I saw you, and that's all really, really sweet. I saw you spoke to the Kentucky men's basketball team, and Mark Pope gave you a really nice shout out on social media. What was that experience like? I've done that a few times, talked to basketball teams. It's always kind of neat when somebody thinks you might have something to offer them.
Well, the funny thing was I had no idea I was doing it. I'd seen Mark the night before at the ceremony. He's like, yo, come to practice. And someone else had invited me as well. And that's the first time I'd seen him, since he probably left school, back in the 90s when I was there working. He was on the basketball team, the title team in 96. So first, I just wanted to catch up with him and, tell him how happy I was for him for this opportunity. He's like, hey, man, why don't you come talk to the team? And then he proceeds to tell them my story and where I started and how I got to this point now as some sort of inspiration for them, which I thought was very flattering. But it was very cool to be able to meet the young men there at Kentucky. And there was one young man who was a walk-on last year who really earned his way onto the team on these one-day contracts, Mark called them. He's from the same place where I grew up. And so to be able to make that connection back to Hopkins County there in Kentucky was really cool. So, there are weekends, Gary, and they're the weekend that I just had in Lexington. It'd be hard for me to find a better one.
Man, it sounds great. I'm so happy you got to experience all that. It sounded like a wonderful time. Let's talk sports. Let's start with Tennessee, Georgia. The Vols were up 8 in the final minutes of regulation. They allowed Georgia to get it tied. And then Max Gilbert, a young man who is from here in Memphis, from Lausanne Collegiate School, pushes a 43-yarder right, and then UT loses in overtime. When you watch something like that happen, specifically a kicker miss a very makeable kick that would have determined the game, where does your emotion go? Do you go, my God, do your job? You're only here to do that, do it. Or do you feel sick for the young person? Because I find myself every time, unless I have real rooting interest, I'm always rooting for the kicker because I hate people having to walk around. I can't imagine how Max Gilbert spent the rest of the weekend feeling. Where are you at on that?
Yeah, I always feel bad for the kicker because in so many regards, they don't matter until they absolutely matter, right? They are so overlooked and no one pays attention to them. And then when the one play will determine the outcome of a game potentially in that moment, everything goes to that kicker. Whether he makes it or not, it determines how people look at him going forward. And it could become an easy scapegoat. But I will say this, Tennessee fans, are you mad at the kicker or are you mad at the false start prior to that negated a play that would put the ball in the middle of those hash marks instead of back on the far left side, right? So again, I've always said one play does not determine the outcome of a game, even though it comes down to that. Because what happened before that? What led prior to that? And why did Tennessee let Georgia march down the field, score, and get a 2-point conversion? Right? If none of those things happened, the kick wouldn't have needed to happen to begin with. Right? So like we always want to put it on one particular thing because it's easy, as opposed to what are the other things that led to that particular moment where that kicker should have never been in that place to begin with. So there were multiple mistakes made, and to make that kid the scapegoat is too easy for fans. It's very lazy, and it's also just wrong.
It was obviously a rough weekend for Max Gilbert. To a lesser degree, a not ideal weekend for Arch Manning at Texas. He was actually booed by his home fans, and Steve Sarkisian joked about it afterwards, like, you don't become a college football player for real until you get booed in your own stadium. But that's a nice comment. I don't know what it actually means other than it's an indication that this is not going the way so many thought it was going to go. I know I asked you about him before, but this is pretty interesting. Most famous name in perhaps football history, projected number 1 pick in the draft, and he doesn't look the part so far.
He's a victim of his previous family success.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate that's how he's being graded. But let's remember, and I believe it was Steve Spurrier who said this last year, or maybe earlier this year. He said if the kid was that good, why wasn't he starting over Quinn Ewers last year? That's a valid point, because Peyton Manning came on as a freshman at Tennessee after a couple of injuries to the guys in front of him, and he never gave that starting position up. But he's not Arch Manning, and vice versa, right? It's a shame that because of his family's history that this kid can't be judged on his own. And to some degree, solely because of his family name, he's probably been elevated to a level to which he did not himself with his play, right? And so now we have this situation where everyone's expectation was this. He's falling short of that. So now they're mad at him.
Yeah.
Whose expectations were really placed on him? Did he do it to himself? Or did the public, the media, anyone else put it on him? And now you're trying to criticize the kid because of it. It's unfortunate that he can't just be graded on how he plays, and those expectations should not have been nearly as high as they were prior to.
I don't know that it's apples to apples, but it does feel a little bit like Bronny James. He got built up into this thing, and then we see it for the first time, and it's like, ooh, this is not what we were told it was supposed to look like. And then it becomes heavier because the expectations were clearly out of reach of reality. It feels a little like that.
You know, I'll say this. Bronny James obviously was elevated by his father,
right.
LeBron. There's no question about that, but not to the level that Arch Manning has been.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's not just, and it's not even his daddy. It's his uncles and his grandfather. Right. So it's not like he's coming from the direct lineage of one of those quarterbacks we're talking about. It's his dad who was a receiver in college when he played football. It wasn't his two uncles and his grandfather who were tremendous quarterbacks during their college career. So again, it's just the Manning name itself has put him somewhere he didn't deserve to go based on the way he had played up until that point. And here's the thing. This could be crushing to a young man of that age, despite the support system he has at home. So it's really going to be interesting how he responds and how Steve Sarkisian reacts to this, to put this young man in a position to lead this football team, because they have greater goals than just Arch Manning being the number 1 pick in the draft. They were trying to win a championship this year. And the way they're playing right now, a lot of people may say, will they even make the college football playoff?
Big headline in the NFL this morning. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals quarterback, is going to have toe surgery and is expected to be roughly 3 months. Obviously, anytime a high-profile quarterback goes down, it's going to be a massive story. How big is this story originating out of Cincinnati?
Oh, it's huge. Yeah. It's just another unfortunate incident for Joe Burrow in his professional career, because when he is healthy, he is clearly one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. He's already sent a team to the Super Bowl under his leadership. And if not for that knee injury, you thought maybe he would have been in a position to maybe win one by now. Now he gets this injury on a team that just started 2-0, right? So if you're Cincinnati, you thought everything was going great. We got our weapons here. We got Joe. We're good. And then all of a sudden we lose our quarterback for 3 months. That's a devastating blow to a team that is, continuing trying to get to that level they can win a Super Bowl. And I just feel sorry for Joe, man, because he seems like a really good dude. And he seems like he understands the role, not just in terms of the team, but also the position and being there from Ohio in Cincinnati. And then every time he gets healthy or gets going up, something happens to him or that happens to his team. They just can't get there. I just feel sorry for him.
Last thing before I get you out of here, J.J. McCarthy had an incredible debut with the Vikings. Come back from behind victory, late heroics. Week 2 did not go nearly as well. Is that just probably what it's going to be for somebody who is, playing in the NFL for the first time? It's probably not going to always be as good as that fourth quarter he had, and perhaps won't always be as bad as what we saw last night.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because the first game, the first 2 quarters, 2.5 quarters, he was trash.
Right.
It was the comeback that you remember, but he was trash up until that point. And in this game, he was trash all 4 quarters, right? So what's the real J.J. McCarthy? Obviously, the potential is what he did in the 4th quarter of that opening game. But what we've seen so far has not been up to the standards that they were expecting from this young man, that they drafted him where they did, thinking he could be the starter last year. He suffers a knee injury, and then they get rid of the quarterback who played exceptionally well for them last year in Sam Darnold to give him the reins in his real rookie season second year in the league, and he's not lived up to the expectations through these first 2 games. But to your point, it's 2 games. Yeah. You have the chance to get better. But as of right now, if you're opposing teams, you may see a blueprint that you can frustrate this young quarterback. The only question is, again, how will he respond?
That is Michael Eaves from ESPN. Make sure you follow him on X at Michael Eaves. That's at Michael Eaves, and catching him on SportsCenter. Again, buddy, congratulations on a fabulous weekend. Well-deserved, and I'm glad you got to do that.
Appreciate it, brother. Go Cats.
Go Cats. I'll see you. That's Michael Eaves from ESPN. Big Bet Bennett, Joe Burrow out for 3 months. Any fantasy repercussions for you?
Oh, I mean, obviously, yeah. I got a little Joe Burrow stock. That's just, it's brutal because they're 2-0. And that injury, man, I mean, it's one of those things like when you see it yesterday, I'm talking to my buddy about it, and I'm like, dude, he's a big Bengals fan. And I'm like, dude, it's just he got a toe injury. Like, he'll be back in maybe a couple weeks or whatever. And then you just find out now he's got to get surgery, out 3 months, and like I think that they can, still be competitive without him, but like they ain't winning. They ain't going deep into the playoffs without him. Like, they're gonna need him back at some point, and that sounds super up in the air, I think, at this point. Yeah.
It stinks. Like, people like him. I think I like him. And I don't mean just as a football player. Yep. I think when I hear him talk.
He's a funny dude.
I think I enjoy watching him speak. He seems like somebody I would like.
Mm-hmm.
And like Michael said, it's just been one. It's been one unfortunate thing after another. This isn't the type of guy we debate about. He's good enough.
Everyone knows he's good, yeah.
Everybody knows he's great.
Yep.
When healthy and capable of, taking you to a Super Bowl and winning it. He is that kind of quarterback. But now he's banged up again.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Being a Bengals fan in the easiest thing in the world, is it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think, too, the thing that would be the most frustrating is, like, again, like, you never can't count out the Chiefs until, like, they're actually done and eliminated. But, like, they do not look like the Chiefs this year at all, at least to start. And I find it hard to believe that, they're coming out of the AFC against like the Ravens or the Bills. Like, I can't see them being able to put up enough points to stay in a game with both of those teams. And I would even throw the Bengals in there when they're at like the peak of their powers with that offense, right? And Joe Burrow has just been able to put that thing on his back. And so, like, you have all this like, man, maybe the Chiefs like aren't gonna get it done this year, and they've beaten them before, and this is but without him, it's just
Yeah, it is. I didn't know what to expect, but when you get the breaking news this morning, it's just like, if you're a Bengals fan, there are countless Bengals fans who went to bed last night going, I hope it's not that bad. And then you wake up this morning and it's like,
it's bad. It's worse, actually.
It's worse than you probably thought. We come back, turn our attention to college football, specifically your University of Memphis Tigers. Bennett, we were worried for no reason. We were worried about Troy, and we shouldn't have been. We were worried about Troy. We had no reason to be worried. 28-7 was the final score. Tigers improved to 3-0 to set up a massive game at Simmons Bank this upcoming weekend against the Arkansas Razorbacks. We'll settle in on that next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Who do you go to learn still? Like, who are you looking to for inspiration?
A couple years ago, I went and visited, even though he's younger than me, but we've got great admiration for one another. Went and visited Dan Lanning out at Oregon, right? A young head coach who's had some success. Mike Norvell may not have had the season he wanted in the past. We can still get on the phone and talk about things, right?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Boys mine.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds. GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more, orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Final score, Memphis 28, Troy 7. It was a blowout. It was a blowout, a non-league blowout for the Tigers. Second straight victory over a Sunbelt program. Improve to 3-0. Keep that 0 in the loss column. And set up a massive game at Simmons Bank. Saturday, 11 o'clock with the Arkansas Razorbacks. It's going to be on ABC. Is ABC America's most watched network? Nope. But it's a pretty big one.
It's pretty huge, yeah.
It's a pretty big one. And this is set up exactly how we hoped it would.
That's really cool that it's getting picked up by ABC, too. I mean, especially considering that Arkansas lost to Ole Miss this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it actually makes me feel, because I know that, like, an SEC team's a part of that, but, like, it makes me do feel good about just the brand of Memphis. Like, I don't know if ABC would pick this game up if Memphis wasn't considered an upper tier Group of 5 program.
Won 11 games last season.
Yeah.
Go to bowl games every year. Current coach never lost a bowl game. Memphis football's a real thing.
Yeah, I just thought that was cool.
Now you'll be on a real stage, like a real stage. Like, people will see this. I don't know how many people saw what you did against Chattanooga or Troy, but people will see this.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just glad, like, looking back at this game this past weekend, and I know everybody's going to be like, Bennett was all worried. I heard y'all on Vernon's show on Friday.
He said
everybody's going to be like, Bennett is all worried. Bennett was all worried for no reason. Let me just make it clear. Goose, who we talked a lot about Friday, did get hurt when the game was tied.
Goose Crowder.
Yes. So just putting that out there. You
think it could have gone down differently if Goose would have been involved?
I think they still would have won. I just think it would have been tighter, like that line suggested. I think it would have been tighter than the game actually ended up being, because that backup quarterback, I mean, he just was not ready for that moment. He was not ready for that moment.
He tried.
No, he was not ready for that moment.
He did his
best. They accomplished the first test of the season, which was avoiding absolute disaster, because you had to start 3-0. Like, you just had to start 3-0 to start the season.
If you didn't, let's be accurate with it. You didn't have to start 3-0 to win a conference championship,
no.
And maybe didn't need to start 3-0 to even get to the college football playoff. But if you wanted this Arkansas game to be everything it can be, you needed to be undefeated coming into it.
Yeah, for sure. And they did that. They took care of business. I'm excited about the game. I mean, I think Arkansas is pretty decent. Like, I watched that Ole Miss game, and they could put up points now. Like,
they were right there.
Yeah, they were right there. They had a chance. So I think it's going to be a good game. I hope it's a big crowd at Simmons Bank this weekend because, we might not see another SEC team in here for a long time.
Could be the end of an era.
It really could be.
Could be the end of an era.
It's a big one, yeah.
Could be the end of an era at Simmons Bank on Saturday. You know how much I love Massey ratings. Tigers are up to 44th now at MasseyRatings.com and projected to win every single conference game, or at least projected to be a favorite in every single conference game. So they're an underdog this weekend to Arkansas. You've seen that, right? 7.5 points. Razorbacks are going to be 7.5-point favorites inside Simmons Bank on the road.
Oh,
seems disrespectful.
7.5.
That seems a little big.
I might jump on that one. I might have to jump on that one. That's a little big for my taste.
You gonna let Ryan Silverfield mess around with 7.5 points at home inside Simmons Bank?
Yeah, I think I might have to jump on that.
We might.
Yeah,
we might have to see what's going on with this.
Yeah.
Underdog to Arkansas, but as soon as this game is over, whatever happens, when Massey Ratings updates next Sunday, I would assume, unless what happens is real bad, they will remain as projected favorites in every American game. And so this is big game no matter what, because it's an SEC school, because it's a border state, all of that stuff. But it could lead to stuff that's way bigger.
For sure, because then you're talking about, and we'll see like how far USF drops in the rankings and whatnot. But
yeah, they did not show up.
But I think that if you were to win this Arkansas game, you're going to get some votes, being 4-0 and just beat an SEC team. And I think that you're setting yourself up for hopefully the potential that one of these American teams that's coming in here later this season, in Tulane, in USF, has a number next to their name. Maybe you have a number next to your name, and you're setting up like huge conference games that we just really have not gotten over the past couple years. I mean, was SMU Memphis the last time we got two ranked teams in here?
It was the last time I remember the fan base being genuinely excited about a home game against an American opponent.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like, until Memphis isn't in this league, this is the league Memphis is in.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out a way to get excited about some of these games.
Yep, you need things to break right. Yep.
The easiest way is just that your team's awesome, so you are excited when they play no matter what. But it would be helpful if, yes, you're going, yeah, hey, Tulane's really good or whatever. So it's just, it's huge opportunity this weekend that could lead to wherever your imagination can take you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Memphis were to beat Arkansas to improve to 4-0, you know what we start doing then, right? It's undefeated season talk. It's time to start talking about being undefeated heading into the college football playoff.
I like that. I like that talk.
That's what I want to talk about.
I like that talk.
I want to talk about that.
I do too.
All right. So let's go handle business at Simmons Bank on Saturday.
Okay.
Memphis, Arkansas, 11 o'clock. ABC, tickets available. GoTigersGo.com.
Number 2.
Jerry Jackson Jr. Hosted his third annual basketball camp in the city this weekend. And the Michael Cole was out there and asked Jaron about the timeline, his injury timeline. He, of course, had I don't know if it's exactly like Joe Burrow, but
turf toe
surgery. Joe Burrow's having turf toe surgery. Jaron Jackson had turf toe surgery. So DeMichael asked Jaron about it, and he said, quote, "I think everybody is going to be happy." That's nice to hear, isn't it?
That is nice to hear.
Jaron thinks when we hear officially how he's doing with his turf toe recovery, he thinks we're all going to be happy. I want to be happy.
I would love to be happy. Like if Jaron Jackson Jr. is available to play to start the season, buddy, I'm happy.
I want to be happy.
All right.
I think I finally decided I'd like to be happy.
Yeah. That's good. I didn't know that. I didn't hear this.
Oh, yeah. Had the camp out there, ages 6 to 16.
I saw some of the video, yeah.
Said Jalen Wells was out there as well, supporting his teammate. And I did think there's just a couple of things that have popped up over the past week that I do think is encouraging. Like John Jaron just being here last week when I Show Speed was here.
Oh, yeah, they're just up here at the facilities like, yeah.
Yeah, and then
that was cool.
And then Jalen Wells being with Jaron yesterday. I'm just saying, I bet you every NBA market doesn't have its best pieces like in town right now, working out together and hanging out together. And,
True.
And there's some public examples over the past week where it's like, hey, they're here. They're not out in L.A., and, asking, hey, when do I got to come back? What's the last minute to come back? That type of stuff. They're here. And that's encouraging. And Ja, for whatever it's worth, but, it was a video with a streamer, but he seemed in good spirits. He looked good. He looked bigger.
He did look big.
He looked big.
Yeah.
I mean, big relative to,
the muscular big.
He looked muscular
yes.
big. He looked like he...
I think he looked like the biggest he's looked in his career, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Now, it could just be because he was standing next to Speed, and we don't usually see Ja standing next to...
Speed's pretty jacked too, dude.
Yeah, but he's a little fella.
Yeah, but he's still muscular.
I know. He's a little fella like me.
Fair enough, but I looked at that picture and was like, well, Ja could take him easily now.
I think Ja could beat Speed up.
Yeah, for sure. So
I don't think
there's a question.
I'm not questioning that.
Yeah.
I think Ja could beat up Speed, but I would advise against it.
We don't need it. Seems like they got along great.
It looked like they got along fine. I never even thought
I'm just comparing physiques.
I understand. We're just physique comparing. I would say let's not do that, but I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see Ja fight Speed, but do I think he could win that fight?
Easily.
Easily.
Number 3.
Terrence Bud Crawford won by unanimous decision late Saturday. It was actually early Sunday. Unanimous decision over Canelo Alvarez. Bennett had a Bud Crawford ticket.
Yeah, I texted you late Saturday afternoon, and I believe all I said was Crawford, ? And you said, let's go.
I said, let's go. I said, let's go.
Let's go.
Bennett hit me back with a let's go. And next thing you know, we're on Bud Crawford. Did you watch the fight?
Yeah. It was all right.
I'm embarrassed.
Why?
I fell asleep.
Did you?
I was so mad at myself.
I mean, it was late.
Buddy.
We're going into midnight. Yeah.
I watched the undercard.
Mm-hmm.
Got to the ring walk-ins. And the next thing I know, my eyes open. And I swear, the second I woke up, I went, mother. At like 3:30 in the morning, my eyes open. And I'm like, what did I do? So I just laid down. I was just like, it can get a little blurry sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I just put my head on the pillow. I just called it a night. I just said, you know what? I don't need any more of this day. This day's going to be over. I was so mad at myself when I woke up.
I'm surprised that he was an underdog, like leading all the way into the fight. Just because I got to think Vegas lost some money on this fight. Because everybody thought, it seemed like all the buzz was saying Crawford's going to do this tonight. Like, that's what it felt like.
And you can still get about plus money.
Yeah. I think if it goes the other way and Canelo's the underdog, then everybody's like jumping on Canelo, right? Because he's the legend. You know what I'm saying?
I think the mindset behind that largely was Bud had to put on a lot of weight to go up and make this fight, and you're just fighting a bigger man.
Yeah.
There's a reason there are so many different weight divisions, weight classes in boxing. It's because it's just like it's genuinely unfair for somebody that weighs this to be fighting somebody that weighs this. It becomes too overwhelming. That's why the weight classes exist. And so the thought was, yeah, Bud Crawford's amazing, but you just can't go up 2 weight classes and take on another amazing all-time great. It's just too much. It's too much of an ask. You also don't know how somebody who's never fought at that weight is going to carry that weight. How are they going to carry it around? Like when you're used to weighing something in the ring and suddenly you're much heavier, how do you feel? Do you lose speed?
Mm-hmm.
Do you lose anything? So just a lot of questions. But it became, because I went back and watched it, it became clear pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's fine.
Yeah, he's going to be good here.
He's standing in front of him. He doesn't seem, Canelo, especially late, I think out of desperation, start throwing big punches. that if one would have caught him, could have been problematic. A bigger man hitting a smaller man with that kind of force, but he never caught him. And Bud could stand in front of him, counterpunched all night, and just cleanly won the fight. Not even debatable. No controversy whatsoever. We're still waiting to see how many people actually watch this, but it is expected to be one of the most watched sporting events of this year, simply because of the places Netflix takes you. Just out of curiosity, do you know how many people have ESPN in their house? That's it. That's the question. How many households have ESPN? I will say it's less than it used to be because of cord cutting and whatever.
Right.
I'm not trying to stump you. It's 75 million.
Okay. And you're including, I'm sure, like the streaming services, right?
Streaming is counted a little differently.
Yeah.
But like in terms of, hey, ESPN's in your home, the number's like 75 million.
Got it.
You know how many people subscribe to Netflix? 300 million.
That's surprising.
300 million.
That's surprising to me.
People around this world are more likely to have Netflix than they are to have ESPN.
Netflix got some power.
Yeah, and it's just, now I think the numbers are going to be diminished relative to what they could have been because it was so late. I mean, it was almost midnight when they went in.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, it looks like I fell asleep around 11:30.
That just seems like a mistake. Well, you don't have to do that. I know it's like how boxing is and how they do it with the UFC too. I'm like, you don't have to do that.
There's a sweet spot, and they went past it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fine a good 10:30, but like in the ring at 11:45.
Come on.
That's just too late. I mean, I'm perfect example. I wanted to watch this fight. I was excited about this fight, and my eyes shut at some point. You know, probably my own fault, but my eyes shut at some point. It was late. I would, yeah. You got to be better about that.
Yeah, we don't have to do a 7 p.m. You know.
There's a massive difference between Canelo and Bud are in the ring at
9 p.m.
Well, even like let's just take it. Let's not even ask for too much. There's a big difference between 11 and 11:45.
No doubt.
I mean, 11 to 11:45. That's when people's eyes start to get heavy sometimes.
For sure. I mean, I was tired too. Yes, that's rough.
Yeah, we got to get these a little better scale. Let's fix that. But the numbers should be massive, and it's a star moment for Bud Crawford. You know, Max Kellerman afterwards in the ring said, "You are the pound-for-pound GOAT of this generation." And that's pretty, like, that's accepted now. I think some people were probably saying it even before, but when you go knock off another previous pound-for-pound king in such convincing fashion by going up and getting him, like that's legend stuff in the sport. Like Bud Crawford solidified something on Saturday. So it'll be interesting to see like where he goes next, what he does next. I just hope they don't go back to a traditional pay-per-view model. Keep this guy available. People enjoyed watching him fight Saturday night.
If you want your sport to make a huge comeback mainstream,
keep him available. You cannot take him and put him back behind a paywall.
No.
And I know Netflix is a paywall, but it's a paywall we all have already paid for. We've all paid for it already. We already own 300 million of us already own that.
Right.
Whether Bud Crawford's fighting or not, we got it. Keep him on that thing, because what we might find out, you know, the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight did like 100-something million. This could be something like that. And if you put it on pay-per-view, I'm not exaggerating. If Bud Crawford's next fight's on pay-per-view, 2 million people might see it. 100 million people might have saw his last fight this weekend. You take him back to traditional pay-per-view, that number drops to almost nothing.
Yeah.
That's not good for him. I know you can maybe argue that that's the better way to get the bigger paycheck, but it's not the better way to become the bigger star. It's not good for the sport. As we've talked about before, the problem with boxing is that there's nobody looking out for the sport. Everybody just looks out for themselves.
Right.
It's a bunch of independent contractors, but it's not good for the sport, and it wouldn't be good for him. Like Bud Crawford is a star right now because of what happened on Saturday night, largely because it happened on Netflix. If there's a way to keep him there, keep him there.
Number 4.
Cal Raleigh hit his 54th homer this weekend for the Mariners. He does it from both sides. And that means that he has now tied Mickey Mantle for the most home runs ever hit by a switch hitter in the same season. That number's 54. And when he hits his next one, 55, he will pass the late, great Mickey Mantle and be in a category of one. And, oh, by the way, the Mariners have won 9 straight games. If you're trying to figure out who's the hottest team in baseball, it's the one in Seattle.
How about that?
Not the one in New York. Not either one of them in New York. Although the Mets did snap an 8-game losing streak yesterday.
Jeez.
Buddy, 8 games. They lost 8 in a row.
That's crazy.
8 in a row. $300 million payroll.
Ooh,
8 losses in a row.
That's pretty gross.
Pete Alonso, walk-off home run yesterday, though.
Nice.
Cal Raleigh thing has become like a thing. This is somebody I don't even think most baseball fans knew existed 2 years ago. Maybe not even 6 months ago. But he's been having an incredible season, and now he's setting records. And he did it in a year that he was also in the home run derby.
Mm-hmm.
That brought his way some more notoriety. He's got the funny nickname that is helpful. He's just becoming a baseball thing that I don't know many people anticipated before this started happening. And the good news is that it appears he's going to be in the playoffs because the Mariners are rolling. They are now leading the AL West, and Cal Raleigh, big dumper. He's arguably the biggest reason.
Number 5.
The Emmys were last night on CBS. That's America's most watched network, the Network of Stars. 77th annual. And The Studio was the big winner. Seth Rogen won for comedy series, won for actor, won for director, won for writer. He racked up. Remind me, you watched The Studio.
Oh, yeah, I loved it.
I loved it, too. I thought it was great.
It was one of my favorites this year for sure. I can't wait to see. Now that it's won all these awards and they're going to have this like massive budget, I think season 2 is going to be awesome. I can't wait for it.
He's just really talented.
Yeah, he was really good.
He has a reputation. I think he's maybe shed it.
Yeah.
But at one point, you correct me if I'm wrong. You're the physical media guy. You correct me if I'm wrong. It felt like Seth Rogen should be, he's the goofy guy who smokes pot all the time and just laughs.
He's a silly stoner guy.
He's a silly stoner guy.
Right.
There's so much more to him than that.
No doubt.
He's like a really talented writer.
Yeah. No, this show is so good. I mean, it's like the best. And I love like the, behind the scenes in the weeds, like Hollywood stuff when whether it's in movies or whatnot, but like this is that like at its best.
Yeah.
It's making fun of Hollywood while also I think there's probably like a lot of truth in it. Yeah. Like these are like firsthand experiences that these guys have probably had.
Oh, sure.
Sure. It's just,
they are having fun on their own industry at its expense.
Yes.
And doing it really, really smartly and hilariously. Mm-hmm. The one-shot episode is like, that's just like really great TV. Mm-hmm. There was another episode where they're talking about, I think it might be called casting, but they're trying to cast the film in a way that checks all these boxes, and it's just so good. It's just like, I like Seth Rogen, and he has knocked it out of the park with this one.
Yeah.
He's also just like, if you ever hear him on interviews, like he's just interesting. He's just a...
Mm-hmm. I loved his speech. Yeah, he is an interesting guy. He does pottery. Like that's his big
Well, have
thing.
you ever heard him talk about like he has no children and he and his wife they don't want any children.
Uh-huh.
They're not going to have children. And I've heard him talk about this a few times, and it's sort of an interesting approach that I can respect. I used to think this. This is one of those where you hopefully get smarter as you age. I used to look at people who chose not to have children, not people who couldn't have children, but people who say, I could have children, we could have children, but we don't want to. I was like, that says something about them. I don't know exactly what. And I don't know if it's good or bad, but it says something about them. Why do you not want children? Why do you, is it selfish reasons? Or is it, I don't know. I'd look at you a little bit, Now I actually have friends who have actually chosen that life, and sometimes it sounds amazing. So anyway,
catch me on a certain day.
Yeah. As I was, sometimes it sounds amazing. So I see an interview with Seth Rogen about this, and he says, yeah, every once in a while people press me on it. Like, really? What's wrong with you? He's like, what? My life is so good. I would not want to mess that up. Like, you know what my wife and I like to do? Wake up on the Saturday morning, smoke a joint in bed, watch 2 movies, hang out together, and then whatever else we want to do.
God, that sounds great.
And like whoever was interviewing was like, but aren't you afraid that you will miss out on the things that having children could bring to you? Like, you're just going to miss all that. And he said, more or less, I hear you. I've heard some people say that's amazing stuff, but I already know something that's amazing. And that's me and my wife being able to do whatever we want to do whenever we want to do it. And if it's possible I'm missing out on something, I'm willing to miss out on it so that I don't mess up this other aspect of my life that I really enjoy. He said, by definition, with children, I would not be able to work the way I work. We would not be able to do the things that we do. I mean, I'm an example of this. Like, I love my kids and everything they do, but I spend an inordinate amount of time just at practices. Today, I will pick kids up from school, go straight to a golf practice, and then straight to a football practice. That will be the rest of my day today. I will be watching practices today. Could just be laying in a bed, smoking a joint, watching a movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I hear it.
Yeah.
I hear what he's saying, you know?
I get it, Seth.
I get it.
I get it.
I get it. Anyway, I like Seth Rogen. That's what I was trying to tell you.
So the show last night, it was really good, and I'm like I feel like I'm more unplugged from TV than I have been in a long time. Like, there's a lot of stuff now that I want to watch after watching last night. And it also worked out that the Sunday night football game was terrible.
Awful.
And so like I'm out on that after like the first quarter. And so I was locked into the whole thing. It was cool. I was like obviously surprised that the Pit won all those awards. I haven't watched it, but I just didn't expect that. So that's one I want to check out. I'm about to wrap up Adolescence, which was great, and that won a ton of awards. I thought the kid that won for it, I loved his speech. And Stephen Graham, the guy who created it, that's also one of the stars. Like, he's one of my favorite character actors in a long time, and the fact that like it's taken him all these years to get this big moment was really cool to see too. So
I have watched one episode of The Pit, and I just never went back to it. Like, I spent a whole basketball season, it was just in my phone, and I just never got to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I will, because people do like it. It, by all accounts, is good. I've heard some people roll their eyes at it like it's just sort of ripping off ER. But if it is, it's fine. People love ER. Rip it off. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, that show was pretty huge for a long time.
Yeah, people like ER, and people seem to like this. So what's the problem?
Yeah, I actually like it. Yeah, I completely agree.
Adolescence was, I think, the most interesting thing I've watched over the past year. I really loved it.
Yeah, I got to finish it. I've got like one more left.
And I think it's just, but like, you know, we just had a major event in the country last week, and you can draw some parallels to this film. It's a 3-part series, and we watched it one weekend, and it will move you. It can be hard to watch.
Yeah,
there are certain parts where it gets hard to watch.
Yeah,
and the performances, the young man who plays the central character, he's great. The gentleman who plays the father, incredible. Just really, really good.
Yeah.
I didn't mind The Pit winning because how am I going to argue? I've seen one episode.
Yep.
But I love Severance.
And they did okay last night too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did okay last night.
The Pit won over Severance, The Last of Us, The Diplomat, The White Lotus, Slow Horses, blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen all of that, but I liked of everything listed there, outstanding drama series that I've seen, I liked.
Yeah.
The Last of Us, I liked. Severance, I liked. White Lotus, I liked.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and a shout out to Andor for getting best writing. That was awesome too. A Star Wars show getting an Emmy for writing. That's pretty cool.
Nate Bargatze?
He was all right.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he was fine. I mean, that's like, those shows are a tough spot, I feel like, because I think he was like a safe host to get, right? Like if you don't want to get, a Ricky Gervais type,
right,
you can go a little bit safer, like a Shane Gillis type. You can go a little safer with Nate Bargatze. But sometimes I do feel like you have to get the uncomfortable and the like the whole making fun of Hollywood a little bit. Like I like that in award shows.
Yeah, that's more the Golden Globes, I think, than the Emmys.
For sure.
And I love Ricky Gervais hosting those things. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
But to your point, Nate Bargatze he's harmless.
Yeah.
He's very easy.
I liked the opening thing. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I didn't like the Boys and Girls Club.
It was just too much.
At all.
It became too much.
And it was like mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was mean to the people that were accepting their awards. Like you're running like a ticker saying that kids are. I know it's a joke.
Yeah. As narcissistic as it may seem, this is a huge moment in these people's lives.
Yeah.
Like they've dreamed about this moment.
Yes.
I know that it's an ego thing, and I understand why people think it's gross. Like, let's all get dressed up and go up there and
celebrate rich people.
And celebrate how
But some of these
awesome we
people
are at our
aren't that,
jobs.
yeah.
I get it. I get why some people roll their eyes at it. But like, I don't know. On the other hand, these people have worked hard and are talented, and being celebrated for working hard and being talented, like it doesn't rub me the wrong way. I enjoy these things. But to your point, in some cases, this is the biggest moment in their lives. They can't even believe it's happening. And now you got a clock on them with money attached to it. And it just felt, I see what you're saying. It felt, when I first heard the bit, I was like, okay, that's interesting, funny, creative, whatever. And then I think they leaned into it too much.
Yeah, like my guy Gilroy, he wins that award for Andor, and then they start doing the ticker thing, and I'm like, dude, this dude didn't think he had a prayer of winning this award. He is shocked. Like, give him a second to like enjoy it and soak it in. I just thought that. I thought too, Kristen Milioti, I think that's how you say her name, who won for the Penguin. She's awesome. She had my favorite speech of the night.
Yeah.
She's just hilarious. She's going to be like big in the next couple years.
And Stephen Colbert got maybe the most notable ovation of the night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because he won his last.
Yeah,
his
obviously.
last hurrah. Yeah.
The Late Show is being canceled, and for reasons that you can Google. And so for him to win, and just for his peers to acknowledge him in that way, that must have been a real sweet moment for him, because he's got all the money in the world and he's going to get a big buyout and he's got other things to do. But like having your show just ripped away from you all of a sudden, regardless of what the reasons were, that's like, what? Like there's a part of him probably thought he'd just do this forever.
Yeah.
And then it's just gone, or they tell you it was going away and this is when we're taking it. Like that's not easy, but it led to that moment last night, which is, I don't know if he would argue, whatever had to happen to get me to this night. I'm glad it happened to get me to this night, because this night was incredible. I guess I could understand that sentiment, although I'd probably argue I'd just rather have the job and whatever. But I bet you that was a sweet moment. I bet that meant the world to him.
Yeah,
I bet that meant the world to him last night. So another Sunday night filled with awards being handed out. I'll take one every weekend. I enjoy them.
I enjoy them too.
Just put award shows on TV every weekend. I'm happy to watch them.
Me too.
Be back with Carry Out.
Why are you dressed like that, CJ? What the hell is wrong with you?
CJ, can you do some high knees?
Is that a towel he has tucked in his shorts? Why are we allowing this?
It's a towel.
Why are we allowing this?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
I was really looking at the success that Memphis had, something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career. I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody that I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Show presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Well, we talked about the Tigers winning at Troy, setting up a massive game this upcoming weekend against the Arkansas Razorbacks. I told you where Memphis was at MasseyRatings.com now and how they are projected to win, or at least be a favorite in every American conference game this season. What I didn't tell you is where they at in the CBSSports.com 1 through 136. If you remember, we had to have an issue last week with David Cobb. I said, David Cobb, who's responsible for having Memphis way down here? I can tell you that Memphis has now moved up 5 spots.
Okay.
But still only to number 57.
Okay.
Still not getting the respect I think they deserve from my college football colleagues at CBS Sports. But just know I've been in the Slack.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in Slack. I'm trying to talk to them. I was in Slack this morning and I'm trying to talk to them. I expressed my displeasure with this ranking. I said, I don't want to brag, but I think as the I think I'm the number one ranker of things at CBS Sports. I'm not trying to brag, but I think I'm the number one ranker of things at CBS Sports.
I mean, you definitely have the most experience.
Got a lot of experience ranking things.
Yeah.
Like, I spend my life ranking things.
Yeah.
When you think about it like that, it sounds kind of sad, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Like, you come on Earth and you spend however many years here, and you look back on your life, and it's like, so what'd you do most of the time? Just rank shit.
People love rankings.
I just ranked stuff over and over again. Every day, just wake up and rank stuff.
Yeah, I feel like
spending my life ranking things, Bennett. Where's my impact on the world?
I think that's a pretty big impact. Rankings matter. People care about rankings.
I think you're right. You're making me feel better. I was starting to feel stupid, but you're starting to make me feel a little bit better about it. Spend my whole life just ranking things. I think I certainly have the most experience ranking things over at CBS Sports. And I hope that gives me a voice in the conversation, even though these are college football rankings, not college basketball rankings. I still, as the most experienced ranker of things at CBS Sports, I feel like I should have a seat at the table.
Yeah.
So I'm working on it. Memphis up to number 57 at the 1 through 36. CBSSports.com. See if we can get them. Hey, go beat Arkansas this weekend.
Yeah, can a win over an SEC team persuade you?
If beating the brains out of Sunbelt teams isn't what you're looking for, what if we do it to an SEC program?
I think that could change some minds.
I think that could change some minds and move some hearts.
What's today's biggest game?
It's a special Monday.
Yeah, where are we going? You
know what? It's a special Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We have a doubleheader. You tell me where you want to go. I'm going to let you pick which one. It's Bucks at Texans, Chargers at Raiders.
Go ahead and give me. Let me take. See the. I think what the first thing that jumps off the page would be, oh well, man, the Chargers looked awesome when they beat the Chiefs. A couple Chargers should be able to handle the Raiders. I think
you would think so.
But that line's 3.5. The Texans line is 2.5, and I think I'm gonna go Texans at home on the first game. Yeah.
Bennett says he's taking Houston -2.5 at NRG Stadium. 6 o'clock kick. That's tonight on ABC or ESPN, and then at 9 o'clock, Chargers at Raiders. That one will be on ESPN live from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
What are we watching on TV?
Special start time for Raw tonight. We're doing it early.
Okay.
6 o'clock on Raw.
On Netflix.
Netflix. Did you watch any of SmackDown over the weekend?
I didn't. What happened on SmackDown?
Man, Tiffany Stratton almost died.
Did she?
I told you. I was really excited about Tiffany Stratton against Jade Cargill.
Mm-hmm.
All I needed was a Brooks Nader ringside, and it would have been a perfect Friday night.
Yep.
You know, she likes to do these little somersaults.
Yeah.
She likes to flip a lot.
Yes.
Tiffany Stratton, if there's one thing I know about Tiffany Stratton, she likes to flip a lot. She goes up to the top rope. Jade's down out of the ring on the ground, and she's going to do a backwards somersault right onto Jade Cargill. But guess what happened? Jade wasn't there.
She wasn't there.
So she just hit the ground, and it looked like she hit her head hard. And then Jade speared her through the desk.
Damn.
And then I know. I was like, maybe Jade should go play with the crowd for a minute. Make sure Tiffany's not dead.
She's all right.
Speared her through the whatever. And then somebody got into the ref's ear because he counted them both out. Ring, ring, ring. And they got him out of there.
Oh, so they knew she was really hurt.
It looks like she hit her head.
Yeah.
Like she flipped back and then hit the ground and then back and then her head hit the, like the bottom of FedEx Forum.
Ouch.
That's what it looked like to me.
Ouch. It sounds painful.
People were wondering who to blame. Is this Tiffany Stratton's fault? Or is it Jade's fault? It seems unclear.
I mean, all due respect to Jade, I think that it's your responsibility to be there to soften the blow, right? And that what you're supposed to do is like the person that's taking the hit.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even close. I think what Jade would tell you is, I was there to soften the blow, but she jumped 10 feet away from me. She was nowhere near me. I bet there's
middle ground.
I bet there's a lot of blame to go around.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hope she's all right.
I do too. Raw tonight on Netflix. 6 o'clock start. 6 o'clock start. They're trying to at least get in, they're trying to move it up a little bit.
Okay.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, over at CBSSports.com, if you might allow me to go back over there, they've updated the odds to be the number one pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. If you remember, before this season started, it was Arch Manning.
Mm-hmm.
He was the favorite. That's how that one quote from Archie went viral, where he said, it doesn't matter where you guys put him in a mock draft. He ain't going to be in the NFL draft next year. He's coming back to school no matter what happens this year. And then Arch had to come out and say, I love my grandfather, but I don't know why he said that. It's to be determined. Either way, at that point, he was the favorite to be the number one pick in the draft. Now, there are 7 quarterbacks who have better odds than Arch Manning to be the number one pick in the 2026 NFL draft. He's been passed by 7 dudes in the first few weeks of the season based on lackluster play. He's now plus 1,500. Your leader is LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier at plus 300. We talked to Michael Eaves a little bit about Arch. I think he might just be normal. I think he might not be as special as we were led to believe.
I got you.
Like, we were led to believe. Like, the Feinbaum quote is outrageous looking back on it.
Mm-hmm.
But you remember talking about this?
Yes.
I said, maybe we'll see, but my God, Cam Newton played in the SEC.
Right.
The quote was, he'll be the best thing we've seen since Tim Tebow. in the SEC at quarterback. I was like, Cam Newton was amazing. Joe Burrow was amazing. Arch Manning's going to be better than them? Wow. That's so obviously not true now. Now we're like totally recalculating everything and just trying to figure out, okay, he's not as great as we were told. Now we're just trying to figure out, is he good? What a weird place to be so quickly. We have gone from this is going to be the best SEC quarterback since Tim Tebow. We've gone from that to now asking this question. Is he good? Is he even good? I know he's not great. Is he good?
I wonder if we look up this time next year and he's back in college and awesome. As in, maybe it's going to take a second. I just wonder. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, but it's not like he was in high school yesterday.
That's true. I mean, he's been on a college roster.
For 3 years.
That's right. I mean, I guess we know the answer to why Quinn was starting over him.
Yeah, and looking back on it, that is the most Steve Spurrier quote ever. Because it just sounds like, I mean, I was just thinking about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, if he's so good, why didn't he start behind? Why did he play behind a 7th-round pick? And he just sort of says it like Steve Spurrier, like Steve Spurrier spent decades just saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just sort of wondering out loud. And it sounds simple, but then you think about it and you go, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now you look back at that quote and it's like, okay, yeah. Why was Arch Manning sitting behind Quinn Ewers? Because he wasn't as good as him. That's probably the answer, right? Because he wasn't as good as him. Which means the guy you thought was going to be the number 1 pick in the next draft was playing behind a 7th-round pick in the most recent draft because he wasn't as good as him. Somewhere in there, the calculations are wrong.
Right.
If you're not as good as the guy who was just a 7th-round pick, I don't know how we think you're going to be the number 1 pick a year later. Well, now we know it was all nonsense. It was just all nonsense. So anyway, you want to read those updated odds, you can find them, cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow will be Tuesday. We'll look back at both of these NFL games, hoping that Ben will be celebrating a victory. Oh, buddy, Indiana put it on you Friday night.
We have to have a conversation about that. Whew. I'm starting to think that maybe teams like that shouldn't be playing each other, or at the very least, we might have to have a cutoff point. What was it, like 73-0?
It was outrageous.
Come on, man.
I agree.
Yeah,
we got a problem. Anyway, I wish you better luck tonight.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. Let's meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.